9 goals conceded in 2 games. 9 goals conceded in 2 games. 11 conceded in the last 3 for a pragmatic manager. 1 win in 6 games. And look, I am not Thomas Frank out. I don't want him to get sacked. But there are a hell of a lot of people on the socials that do. We have just been absolutely battered in a game in which, when we had our chances, we took them. We scored 3 goals against the reigning European champs. But I have to question that lineup. I have to question that lineup massively. Why is Xavi Simons starting on the bench? You pay £60 million for a £200,000 a week attacking midfielder. You start Archie Gray. You leave Vitinha on the bench. Like, I am baffled, absolutely baffled by that team selection. We've gone for a 4-4-2. In the last 3 games, we've played 3 different formations. Against Arsenal, we played a 5 at the back. Against PSG, we went with a 4-4-2. Against Man United, we went with a 4-3-3. What is going on? Like, genuinely, at this moment in time, I don't actually think Thomas Frank's going to make Christmas. I really, really don't. We've got Fulham on Saturday night. If we don't win that game, we are in serious, serious bother. On the Tuesday night, we've got Newcastle United away. I said this on the other day on the Football Terrace. I don't believe at this moment in time, Thomas Frank, from an attacking perspective, is getting the most out of these players. But the team selection tonight, you know, why is Archie Gray starting with Bentancur? Like, why? Paulinho's played next to him all season in a game which you need a double pivot to break up a midfield with one of the world's best in Vitinha in it, and he starts Archie Gray. Pacho starting out on the right. He went with a midfield diamond, which was a 4-4-2 out of possession, in possession, a 4-1-2-1-2, which we haven't played. Against Arsenal, we went to a 3 at the back, in possession, 5 at the back, out of position, which we only played in the Super Cup. These things are from a manager that is clearly under pressure. Destiny Udogie is a better left back than Jed Spence, but he's been playing Jed Spence at left back, who's a right back. Mohamed Kudus on the bench tonight. Xavi Simons on the bench tonight. Wilson Odobert on the bench tonight. I don't like, yes, we can talk about the injuries. Brennan Johnson suspended. Kulusevski and Maddison out. But 2 of your most creative players in Kudus and Xavi Simons are sitting on the bench, and you go out there and concede 5 goals. Like, it's shambles. Absolutely shambles. It really, really is. Like, I'm not going to lie, that result on paper looks good because we scored 3. But on another day, PSG scores 7 or 8 against us. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't already and let me know your thoughts. It's painful. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It really, really is painful. The road to 10K is well and truly on. Make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I don't want Thomas Frank to get sacked. I like him as a manager, but I'm baffled of the last 2 games. Yes, the opposition is miles better than us. At least we put up a fight tonight, because that performance against Arsenal was diabolical. But that system, it makes no sense. We haven't played a 4-4-2 all season. Kolo Muani has to start. He has to start against Fulham. 2 goals and an assist against your parent club, against the European champions. But that midfield 4 of a diamond, playing 4 central midfielders, and our best defensive central midfielder is left on the bench. And we have no European attacker. We have no attacker. That is Brexit fucking football. If you were to type in Brexit football in the dictionary, that is the system you would get. Look at the bench. Paulinho, who's been our best defensive midfielder, or best midfielder this season, Your doggy, our best left back. Xavi Simons and Kudus, our best creative players. Look at the players they have on the bench, by the way. Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele, Kang Lee, who starts for us. Hernandez is sent off. And bearing in mind, that was no Desiree Doué or Hakimi as well. The PSG side, listen, it's stacked with world-class talent. But we don't make it easier for anyone. We make it harder for teams. Like, Zai Emery, a central midfielder starting at right back. Pacho and Marquinhos, Mendes, Vitinha, Neves, Ruiz, arguably the best midfielder in Europe. Barcola, Najantu, and Kvaratskhelia. We go 1-0 up against the run of play. We are under the cosh, struggling, getting absolutely pumped left, right, and centre. We're under the cosh. And somehow, some way, Richarlison, who scored against Arsenal, scored against Manchester United, scores again today. And fair play to him, because he's actually on a decent bit of form. 5 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League in 7 games. 1 goal in the Champions League tonight. Actually put in a decent performance. That front line did. Got an assist against Manchester City, 2 goals against Burnley. Couple of goals on international duty. But we go 1-0 up, and then we just concede an absolute unbelievable strike from Vitinha. And you're sitting there thinking, what the fuck are we supposed to do against that? How are you scoring a goal like that? Right in the top corner, edge of the box, off the crossbar and in. And I'm thinking, right, as soon as we scored, that's it. But no, we show a bit of resilience. We show a bit of determination. We show a bit of character. We get into half-time 1-1. Kolo Muani then scores against the run of play. Right down the other end, takes on a couple of players, rifles it. Sorry, that was the 3rd goal. The 2nd goal come from a corner. Archie Gray flicks it on. It's defended off the line. Kolo Muani volleys it in. Then Vitinha equalises for another unbelievable strike off his left foot. Finessed, back of the net. And then we just completely capitulate. And we've scored. We've conceded 7 now in the Champions League. And obviously 5 of those have just come in that one game. And it puts us in a really difficult position. Vitinha obviously gets the penalty. Romero's arms up here. And then Pacho scores a little rebound. But we have to beat Slavia Prague. And then we have to go and beat Frankfurt away. If we don't beat Frankfurt, by the way, Frankfurt are currently 28th in the Champions League. And then we've got to play Borussia Dortmund, who are currently 6th. We have to, as a bare minimum, beat win the next 2 games against Slavia Prague, who are 31st, and Frankfurt 28th. If we win both of those games, somehow, some way, we're in the next round of the Champions League. But that tonight was a battering by PSG. We were very clinical, and the match stats, we have actually a higher XG and all that. But we've conceded 9 goals in our last 2 games. And I am worried about the future of Thomas Frank. Because if we don't go out there and beat Fulham on Saturday night, who won their previous game, we have then got to play Brentford, who are in really good form. And we then have to play Newcastle United on Tuesday. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to say this, but I don't know which of these games we actually are going to win. I don't feel confident, other than Slavia Prague, in playing any of those Premier League sides. Forest have got a decent bit of form behind them. Crystal Palace are a better side than us. Newcastle United, we have a terrible record there. Tonight, it is what it is. You're playing against the European champs. You can't really criticise the manager and the team that much. But it's a capitulation of recent results. Ever since Aston Villa, we beat Copenhagen, we beat Everton. But since then, we lost 2-1 to Villa, 0-0 with Monaco, which we were battered, 2-0 to Newcastle, 1-0 to Chelsea, 2-2 with Manchester United, 4-1 against Arsenal, 5-3 against PSG. And I'm not going to lie, I think a lot of people will be Thomas Frank out after that Fulham game. I'm not Thomas Frank out right now, but man, start Kolo Muani, start Kudus, start Xavi Simons. Like, these are basics for a football manager. Play your most creative players, play your best players, play your best team. We're not doing that. And we just got absolutely slapped by the European champs. I don't know what to say, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's just another game, another defeat. Like, Kolo Muani tonight was really, really good. Positives. Richarlison was decent. Bentancur put in his shift. But other than that, the rest of them, not that great. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all in the morning for a bit more of an in-depth match reaction when I've calmed down. I'll see you soon. Thank you all for watching. I am out.